Hey, good morning to you. Crazy dog. He drags these trees around, and if he finds a dead tree, he tears it down. He's insane. So I got a story about a Miss Teen USA pageant winner. Oh man, I can't believe I said that. It's true though. I've got a story about a Miss Teen USA pageant winner. I think it's going to be beneficial to you, but I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. Oh, I got to get walking. So, unrelated to that, but related to it. When I was growing up, I grew up in a Baptist church, and there's for those that read Scripture, the Bible, there are any number of inspirational stories there. And actually, there's a lot of inspirational stories for those that don't follow the religion of Christianity or Judaism, the Torah, or what have you, okay? So, dig into it and read it. It's pretty cool, actually. But there's one where, and this is Craig Cottle's way of telling the story, okay? So bear with me. God's saying something along the lines of, hey, we need this done over here. We need somebody to go over here and do this thing. And this dude, Isaiah, basically says, yep, that'll be me. I'll be the one that'll do that. I'll take care of it. Got it. You know, his words are, who am I, send me. It's just one of those stories that kind of stood out to me studying. Even young, when I was young, it just kind of stood at me because this looked like an unconquerable task. It looked like something, the situation was, it just looked like something that, man, that ain't going to happen. And so, yeah, that's a metaphor for us, right? Look around, what kind of things do you see that you look like, so this needs to be done, and you're looking at going, yep, that can't be done. Who's going to do that? Who can do this? You. And then there's some people that just go like this. That would be me. I'll do it. There's a real valuable lesson in that for those of us who study, research, and are involved in survival and well, let's just say survival training, not necessarily bushcraft training, because I put that in its own category in my mind. But there's an excellent book called In Extremist Leadership. I think the author's last name is Kuntz, and he talks about professions and even recreational opportunities that people engage in, and how those who are doing things where the costs are basically life or death versus those whose costs are the bottom line on a spreadsheet from the accounting department, and that the leadership style must be, and from observation and research on his part, are quite frankly incredibly different. There might be some of the same things, but there's some things that are incredibly different. As you could imagine, if, for example, a sergeant is leading a bunch of men into a house to take down a high-value target, the cost of making a mistake or what? Well, that his men could be killed. So the decision-making process there and the process to build up to that, the preparation, the training that lead up to that, has to be different than, let's say, a LeBron James preparing and training to win a basketball game and to make sure that the Lakers make more money so they can sell more jerseys. I'm not saying anything negative about it. I mean, if it's entertainment, right? But I think one of the things we need to note is that for you who are engaged, and me, when I say you, I'm talking about myself here too. For those of us, I should say it this way, for those of us who are in the process of preparing ourselves for disaster readiness, survival training, stuff of that nature, the lead up, there's a few things that we need to do. The lead up, the prep is important. So plan and prepare ahead of time. That's absolutely critical. Absolutely critical. And then also think about the risks versus rewards. Okay, so this is why I separate bushcraft off into its own category. So utilizing an axe, a saw to make a dogwood handle, or to see who can make the coolest campfire food, which are fun. I love doing that, quite frankly. I really enjoy doing that stuff, what I call bushcrafty, campcrafts type stuff. But the risk associated with that are not life and death. They're have a good time or not have a good time. And so you've got to make a distinction. You can't equate the two things together. So be careful with that. Disaster readiness and preps, think about the risk being someone in your family is going to die. What do I do to prevent that from happening? Think of the scenarios. Place yourself in scenarios. Look at the things that are happening around us. Look at the people. This is why I'm always a big fan of sharing stories where people get engaged in life-threatening situations and they overcome them. I'll put these regularly up on our social media as an encouragement on this is what you do. Because oftentimes we look at the exceptions, not the rules. Meaning we look at all the people that make the mistakes, and I do this all the time too. I study the people that make mistakes and die or experience tragedy and figure out how to help our student base overcome those problems. But it's valuable to also, incredibly valuable, at reading and researching situations where people engage in life-threatening situations and overcome them. All right, so that somewhat brings us back to our beauty pageant contestant. So in the mornings when I work out, I usually do some sort of warm-up. If it's cold, and I'm always concerned about working out in the cold the older I get and straining a muscle even in warm-ups. So when it's really cold, I work out inside at a gym. And as it gets warmer like it is now, I'm back. It looks like I'm back outside probably for until next winter. Yeah, interesting. So one of the things that I do, can't say that you should do it, but I know it works for me, is when I'm warming up, I'll listen to motivational or inspirational type audio. A lot of times it's videos on YouTube, but I don't watch them. I just listen to them. And I don't typically continue that as I start to get into the grunt process. I'll put something else in to listen. And what this has done for me is that throughout the day, I'll hear these quotes repeatedly in my head that are inspiring and motivational to me. So that helps me. I'm not saying it'll help you, I'm just saying it helps me. Because it's easy to get in my own head and let things devolve when life sucks, right? So I was listening to one this morning. Last thing that I wanted to listen to, but I was in a particular rhythm of doing something for warm-ups, and it came on and I didn't want to stop it. But it was a story about a young African-American lady who was a young lady. I think she was 17. She was working at a Target, and she looked up, and there was this very attractive white chick just staring at her. And this lady came over. This chick came over. Is that a derogatory term, chick? Probably is. Oh well. This chick came over and said, "Are you from this country?" She was kind of offended by it. And then she asked her if she had any kids, which she kind of found the questioning offensive. And she told her that she just went back to her standard Target operating procedure. Is there anything I can help you with? It's kind of funny, I thought. But Lay said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I think you'd be a perfect candidate to be in a Miss Teen USA pageant." This lady was a recruiter for Miss Teen USA. Long story short, she ended up getting engaged into pageantry. And she also, one of the reasons she didn't want to do it was that she had intended on graduating from high school, enlisting in the Army, going into ROTC in college, and commissioning as an officer in the United States Army, which she did. She still did that, even though she was in the midst of all the pageant stuff too. But here's the thing that motivated her to basically go, "I can't be in a pageant, that's wrong, that's crazy," was that this recruiter said to her, "If not you, then who?" It kind of goes back to the thing about Isaiah. John F. Kennedy said in an address when they were basically starting up Special Operations Command that there are costs, and I might butcher this quote, I'm going from memory here. There are costs and risks associated with action, but the costs and the risk with long-term inaction are too great to ignore. Something like that. It's pretty close. So that helped to motivate me today. So I'm offering it to you. If not you, then who? If not you, being the one that fixes your situation at work, if not you, who fixes your relationship at home, if not you, when you find yourself off the side of the road in axle deep snow in a Jeep and your family's going to die, if not you, then who? Hurricane season's coming up. Hurricanes bearing down on the coast. If not you, then who is going to take care of your family? If not you, then who, when you walk out of the work into the parking garage and are met with an aggressor? If not you, then who? No one's coming to save you. It's up to you. Be more self-reliant. Yeah. So how many people do you know can combine, can come up with, maybe this is how my mind works, and maybe I'm letting you into my mind a little bit more than I should, but who can combine Isaiah the prophet, a Miss Teen USA, and Special Operations Command in one discussion? Oh man, all I want is for you to be able to take care of yourself. Be more self-reliant. Nobody's coming to save you. It's up to you. Come on, join in. Let's learn together. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the video. If you want to stay connected, do this. Check out the website, naturereliance.org. That's naturereliance.org. Scroll down to the bottom of the page, join our newsletter. That's where we do all the giveaways. That's where we do all the discounts. That's where we do all the cool stuff for all the cool kids. You'll want to be part of it. Come on, join in. Let's learn together.